Breathtaking, awe-inspiring, ancient wonders that have captivated travelers like you and me since before the time of Alexander the Great. Stunning colored reliefs that have retained their hue over millennia. It's a storied land with proud people. That is Egypt. And this is a personal view of my 2-week Egypt journey through the temples, tombs, villages, and desertscapes, where I was able to touch, taste, and breathe the history of this intoxicating country where archaeology truly comes alive. Hey, I'm here outside the Great Pyramid, and I'm so excited because I am convinced I am going to find another great discovery. I'm looking for another pyramid. I think it's underneath here. And discover we did here at Giza, entering some lesser-known tombs like the one belonging to the 24th dynasty official Idu, who depicts himself going from young to old. All of him, many of Idu. He's getting young to old? Yes. I've already found a few cool things. Like, I just found this just over there. We're going down into one of the Queen's pyramids, one of the lesser visited pyramids here on the Giza Plateau. Queen Akhenaten was the wife of Cheops, the king who built the Great Pyramid. Into this tomb area. It smells a little bit rancid. This is a pyramid. I think I found a pyramid under here. Is that? Hey, those are mine. The second pyramid of Khafre appears larger, but only because of its elevation. Sadly, the Great Pyramid has lost all its limestone casing. Just 20 kilometers from Giza lies Sakkara, an incredible burial ground from the Old Kingdom.
So we are standing, and behind us, the oldest funerary complex dates back roughly 2700 BC, and behind us the first pyramid in Egypt, the Step Pyramid for King Luxor.
We also visited some fascinating Old Kingdom tombs around the Sakkara complex. A short distance from Sakkara at Dashur, we discovered 2 more Old Kingdom marvels. Okay, we're at the wonderful bent pyramid. Murad, this is your favorite pyramid, isn't it?
Yes, I like this pyramid because this is one of the wonderful pyramids, still casing with the limestone, and we call the pyramid of King Senefro. Senefro, he built this pyramid, and he built the Red Pyramid.
Next day, we left at dawn to visit the collapsed pyramid of Meidum. It appeared like a tower rising out of the rubble. I'm so excited to be at the pyramid of Meidum on the road to El Fayoum. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. There's no one here. This is the second Great Pyramid that was ever built in around 2600 BC.
Yeah, this is an Old Kingdom in the 4th dynasty for the King Honi, roughly 2006 BC.
This is amazing. What is this little room?
Should be the burial chamber. Should be.
The chamber was very small, and we marveled at the corbelled roof and ancient cedar beams.
This shaft and this corridor, they cut it purposely. It's not the right way to this room. Maybe there's another entrance.
This one is hard. And this is the one day I wore my sandals. Here at Meidum, we also had one of our best Indiana Jones-style experiences, scuttling deep down into one of the 4th century BC tombs. Okay, now we seem to be descending into a pit, and there's a ladder. I just crawled through a little gap and crawled on my hands and knees and down this ladder into this Middle Kingdom tomb, or the Late Kingdom. We don't know who this is. From dust and limestone to the color and cacophony of a bustling Egyptian town, we drove through enjoying the vibrant local people, open-air markets, butchers, and fruit stands en route to our next captivating stop. So we're at Karanis, the old Roman?
We are in an area we call Karanis or Komushim. Kom, it means mountain, mountain of sand. So because this is the remains of the houses from the Roman time.
Karanis is one of the best preserved Roman towns discovered anywhere. It was quite impressive, with second stories of many structures still remaining. Well, it's nice to know that here in the hot, dry desert, I can stop by and take a nice bath. This is the old Roman baths. And I don't know how to turn it on. How do you turn on the water? After an hour or two on the road, we crossed into the province of Minya and detoured into a quaint little village. It was like a town that time forgot. No other tourists for miles, and more vibrant color, energy, and life packed into these side streets than in most North American towns. Guava. Egyptians travel by cars, trucks, camels, donkeys, bikes, and tuk-tuks. These three-wheeled rickshaw vehicles are low on emissions and don't require a license. And speaking of transportation, it was time to cross the Nile by car ferry. Oh, okay. We're going to Beni Hassan, the rock-cut tombs in the mountains. Have you been to the tombs? Yeah, you like climbing? And climb we did, enjoying magnificent views of the surrounding landscape. We took in a great panorama of the Nile countryside, wind whistling through our ears. Beni Hassan are rock-cut tombs of governors dating from the Middle Kingdom period. With their striking color and enchanting scenes of daily life, animals, hundreds of wrestling poses, they provide a rare glimpse into the world of the ancients. Murad even showed us men playing a game like chess called Senet. There are 39 tombs in all, but only 4 are open to the public. Oh, look at that. The tomb of Khnumhotep is the most exquisite. The scenes are so colorful and lively, including a caravan of Asiatics in striped robes with gazelles and stunning portrayals of Khnumhotep and his family. Back across the Nile, a short scenic drive took us to the necropolis of Ashmone called Tuna el Jebel, dating from around 340 BC. We first visited the wonderful tomb of Petosiris, a high priest of the cult of Thoth. The very ornate scenes inside are all distinctly Greek in style.
Thoth is one of the main gods in all of Ashmonain. But actually here the baboon, this belongs the afterworld. Is not here the god Thoth.
In fact, near Petosiris' tomb, there are extensive underground catacombs to explore where hundreds of mummified ibises and baboons were buried. I think they're Egyptian fruit bats. I was not nearly as well armed as the guard in front of me, and a little worried about the bats down this well. Whoa, it just flew in my hair. Whoa! Oh my God. They won't hurt, no? That shaft goes way down, and it is full of bats. Look at that. Here we are in this water well. It used to be pulled by cows. We woke up next morning to the beautiful view from our Nefertiti hotel in Minya, ready for the highlight of our trip so far, a visit to Akhenaten's kingdom.
Amarna has 2 things going for it. One is that it is the place that Akhenaten chose to be the new home for his god, the Aten, and so the place he created tells you quite a lot about what was in his mind. So if you're interested in Akhenaten and his religious ideas, it's the place to go to find out more about them. So that's one side of why Amarna is important. The other is that it is the only place in Egypt where you can actually go and see an Egyptian city laid out and accessible on the desert or anywhere.
This is here Akhenaten himself.
He has been called the inspiration for Moses and the creator of monotheism. Back in 1353, he started a movement to worship only the power of the sun, the Aten, depicted so lovingly with rays-like hands reaching down. The Amarna period meant a radical shift in art as well. The naturalism in the tombs is striking, far from the rigid, ritualistic work found in other eras. The figures and scenes come to life and invite you in. The lively depiction of horses in dynamic motion are quite magnificent.
Daughters of Akhenaten. You see the daughter of Akhenaten? They are going to the palace.
Murad points out how some of the tomb architecture symbolically depicts the Akhet sign, that crescent break in the surrounding hills where the sun rose that signaled to Akhenaten this was the place to build his kingdom. Our last stop in Amarna was the North Palace, possibly where the young King Tut was raised. In ancient times, it was filled with animals and birds. We bid farewell to Minya en route south to our final destination, Luxor, stopping at 2 breathtaking temples en route. Built in the 13th century BC, the great temple of Seti I at the ancient city of Abydos is one of the most impressive in Egypt. This was the Mecca to the ancient Egyptians, the place where they made sacred pilgrimages. The art throughout the temple is stately, processional, and classic, in contrast to the flowing naturalism of Amarna. I don't think you can get down into that green marking. We continued to what would be our favorite temple in Egypt, the Ptolemaic masterpiece called Dendera, dedicated to the goddess Hathor. Murad said that the spirit was still here in this temple, and we felt it. The ceiling colors had been wonderfully restored recently, and the stunning blues and greens of the goddess Nut, swallowing the sun and giving birth to the new day, is a feast for the eyes.
It's 6 a.m. and we are kind of making that wonderful journey from the east bank of the Nile to the west bank to visit the Valley of the Kings.
And yes, it's true. If you're as crazy as me, you can travel by donkey back to the Valley of the Kings. Probably one of the biggest icons of Egypt next to the pyramids and Sphinx. It's the Colossi of Memnon here in the Valley of the Kings.
Yeah, so this is the 2 statues. Originally, it was a complete temple for the king Amenhotep III. So later on, when the Greek people came to Egypt in 332 BC, they find these 2 statues and they find like cracks on these statues. So they find the breeze of the morning when passed by the cracks, it making a voice. They thought that this is the complaint of the hero for his mother, I mean Memnon.
It made a voice?
Memnon. Yeah, voice, yeah.
They heard a voice in through
that's
the cracks
right,
of the
yeah,
statue?
that's right.
And they
yeah.
thought they were saying Memnon?
Yeah, Memnon complaining for his mother.
Okay.
So this is the temple of the king Ramses III, which is called the Medinat Habu at the west bank of Luxor. This temple, as we say, dedicated for the god Amun-Ra, and this is like a mortuary temple for the god Amun-Ra, the god of the sun.
I am Ozymandias, king of kings. Look on my work, ye mighties, and fear. Nothing beyond remains except the sand. And I wish I knew the exact wording of it now, but this Colossi of Ramses was the inspiration for Shelley when he came to Egypt and saw these ruins. The Valley of the Workers was an unexpected highlight of the West Bank, home to the skilled craftsmen who built the Valley of the Kings 3,000 years ago. The mud brick walls and boundaries of their houses still remain.
Just look at each of these little rectangles here, and like families and people live. Like somebody probably slept in that corner there for years, right? Think about how many 1,000 times somebody walked, just strolled into that little room there, you know, and sat there and drank chai or something.
From there, we visited the famous mortuary temple of the great Queen Hatshepsut, the most dramatically situated in the world. A marvel of architecture, the temple was carved into the heart of the surrounding mountain. Back on the east bank, the 3-kilometer Avenue of the Sphinxes led us to Luxor Temple with its colossal statues of Ramses II. It was a thrill to see. Karnak is the greatest temple in Egypt.
That's right, yes.
And this is the most magnificent
a place in the temple. Yeah, the number of the columns, it's called hypostyle, and the number of the columns here, 134 columns, arranged in 16 rows, built by the king Seti first and completed by the son, his son Ramses II, Ramses the Great.
We're here with some camel friends. This is Moon. Hi, Moon. Do you have anything to say? And that, my friends, was our Archaeology Alive tour. I thought I'd let a camel have the final word. Was that very hard? Is it very hot for you today? Oh, okay. Would you like to be scratched behind the ears a little bit? I guess perhaps not. What about him? What's his name? This camel. Lulu?